25 years career and 41 since the debut album, lineup changes and several records. What does all this represent for Bad Manners and for you as an original member of the band?
It's our first album which we released, which we was all very excited about, to be able to release an album which we all contributed to. Very good times were had by all. The two-tone tours were always a good thing to be on. We played all over Britain and all over Europe. I will never forget these times. They meant a lot to me as I was learning my trade.
Your first show in our country took place in 1999 in the old Saloon Periodon, a gig remembered as one of the most fun and exciting in the Argentinian ska scene. What memories do you have of that show and your other visits to Argentina?
I remember it being very, very hot. A lot of the crowd had never seen us before, and people seemed to dance an awful lot. The bands on before us were very good. There was several bands that I hadn't heard of, and I really enjoyed the whole evening. Also, the food that was particularly good, as they gave us an asado, which I believe they slaughtered a whole cow for us. It was quite an honour.
Some time ago, Duncan Reid told us about the inconsistencies of the government in the United Kingdom about the measures against COVID-19. How did the pandemic affect you, and what did you do in the 2020 confinement?
I just bought a apartment in Bulgaria, and the neighbours told me that I owned the basement. So when I looked into the basement, I thought it was quite a large space. So I decided to open a bar so people could come and drink. And of course, all the expats all wanted to drink in Buster's Bar. I spent a long time doing it up with memorabilia that I've picked up throughout my times on the road, and photographs of old Bulgarians. This makes it quite a unique and exciting little bar, and I spent many a happy hour there during the lockdown period.
Bad Manners always sought to give a variant to the two-tone sound. How did you do it, and what is the best thing about playing in Bad Manners?
We did it by being different from the other bands, in as much as we were always a little bit more crazier than them, and maybe some of our songs were a bit faster than theirs. We didn't want to try to aim at the pop market, which the other bands seemed to want to do. We wanted the more alternative route to life. And I think being in Bad Manners is such a pleasure that all the other bands wish they were with us.
Is there something that as a band you wanted to do but you never dared do it?
I mean, we achieved an awful lot of things. I think my biggest fault would be the fact that we didn't release an album every year. That was originally our fault, but we haven't released one for quite a few years now. And you know, various things have got in the way when we went to record. But I believe that we will be doing something in the near future.
Many crazy anecdotes circulate about the band's previous visits to our country. Do you remember any in particular?
I'm sure it was down to some of the crazy behaviour that we got up to, but we was all just having fun. And I particularly know that we had maybe a bit too much to drink on a few wild occasions, but enjoyable. And I think the crowd enjoyed what we gave them on stage.
When I say these next words, you have to reply to me with just one word or one phrase. 2 chords.
Sally Brown.
1 song.
Sally Brown.
1 album.
Scar and B.
The future.
New album.
Buster Bloodvessel, Fatty.
Slimmer version, I hope.